Hello, hello, hello. This is Diane, aka Lucky Gardenia, aka Birdie. Yes, I have several nicknames, but Birdie is my G name. I'm Grandma Birdie, and I'm here waiting for my little darling granddaughter, my beautiful daughter, to arrive back home. I knew I'd be here early. They went out shopping a bit, and anyone who knows me, I'm normally late. So I thought I'd head on over here, and worst case scenario, have time to shoot a really quick video. I think I'm looking kind of puffy in the face. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I don't know if you can see a cute little Easter basket. There's all kinds of surprises in there from little Miss Ella. Anyway, hopefully she will like them. Hopefully Robin will like them. And actually next week we're getting together for my birthday. I'm turning 62. Lordy. I saw one of my friends said, you know, we're lucky to get to this age. And, you know, that's the way we need to look at it. And just, it's all a journey. And Lord knows I'm still working on all my areas of opportunity. And that'll take forever, so hopefully I'll have forever and a lot of good times in between. My arm's gonna give out. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Let me brace my arm. How about that? Hopefully, you would think after like 4 years I'd figure out where to look in this stupid phone. But what have I been up to? Let's see. I can't even remember when I did my last video. I think I may have mentioned that I was going to take on a challenge of weeding through all my clothes, and I will be flat out straight with you. I've got a tremendous amount of clothes, and in my defense, guys, in my defense, I go treasure hunting, or I have in the past at thrift stores. And, you know, when you can find Anne Klein for like under $10, or Gap, or what are some more of their brands? Harold's, Neiman Marcus, Ann Taylor. I think you're getting the drift. And you know, I think from what my vlogs have shown, my weight goes up and down the scales over the years. So, you know, you read these things on how to weed out your stuff, and it's like, if you haven't worn it in the last year, toss it. I'm sorry. Being 62 years old and being on the weight journey that I have, anorexia, to being on medication that made me gain 2 pounds a month for 3 years, and then struggling to take that off. And nothing is worse than putting on weight due to medication, because you're getting absolutely no enjoyment. It is so frustrating. Anyway, I would like to be thinner, to be honest, and I'm by no means where I was when I started my Weight Watchers journey. But anyway, it's in my head. It's a me thing, and just got to kind of keep it under control and just love the person I am and the abilities that I can continue to do dance classes and try new things. And even though I don't do them well because of, you know, I'm 62, I've got arthritis, hopefully my flexibility will come back, because doing ballet, trying to do ballet. I'm probably going to say that wrong. Anyway, I can't really do the moves the way they should be to the extent you're supposed to, but it's not like I'm going to be doing Swan Lake anytime soon. So, okay, getting back to the capsule wardrobe, it's where you have kind of some basic pieces, and this idea came to me from Kimberly Wilson, Tranquility du Jour, and I attended a free webcast of hers, and she does have a clothing line, and the theory, at least for her, and there are books out there I've gotten, the Curated Closet, and there's another one that I would recommend, but I'd have to look it up. And to be honest, I have not started that, but I know in the concept, you know, basic black. I think I did talk about this because it sounds really familiar in my head, but I may have been talking to my sister, so you never know. So hopefully I'm not boring you, but basic black, and then you can have, you know, accents like jewelry, scarves, shoes, boots, tights, you know, and then you build upon that, and then you have like sweaters or blazers or anyway, mix and match. You got me. So some way I've got to figure out how to catalog what I have, number them. When I figure out outfits I like, take a photo of them if possible, a good photo, and then with the numbers of each piece, and then put, you know, the numbers back on the pieces. Anyway, there's a theory to this madness, but so very true. Most of my clothes that I have gotten over the last probably 15-20 years have been through secondhand stores, but you know, I'm at Walmart all the time. Well, I was there on Thursday, Friday, and just, you know, cutting through from the pharmacy. No, actually, it was on Wednesday. I had some oral surgery. I had, who else out there hates going to the dentist? And I'm sorry, several of my friends from high school are dentists and or dental assistants out there, and I'm sorry, I could not do that for a living. I could not go to sleep knowing I had to go in for oral surgery, and it's traumatic. I did have a near-death experience back when, after I had Robin and went in for dental surgery and had gas. This was way back, guys, I'm 62, so I had Robin when I was 23. So I'm sure my system was, sorry guys, hold on. Yes, I'm this vain. Anyway, oral surgery, and they gassed me, and I was above my body watching them do what they were doing with my tooth, and just begged to be able to stay and not leave because, you know, I just had Robin. And anyway, it was horrifying, and at least I didn't go to hell. I mean, that's the good news. Silver lining. Anyway, so I was asked if I wanted gas, and I'm like, no to that. So, you know, that means they were really prolonged shots of numbness, which, Lord have mercy, thank God for numbing meds when they're doing dental work, because I don't know what the people in the past that didn't have all the medication and the ability to mask the pain did when they had teeth problems, because I have never had such pain in my mouth. Anyway, I mean, pain in my mouth when I knew I had a problem, and then I had to wait to get into the surgeon, and they didn't give me pain medicine. Anyway, horrific. So I don't know what they did, and you know, prior to all the wonder of the drugs that we have. So I had to go in and get my, long story short, kind of went on a wild goose chase there, but I was in Walmart waiting for them to fill the prescriptions, and so I went walking through all the new clothes in Walmart. And I don't know if y'all noticed, you know, in the last year, like Joann's, all the craft places that I frequent, Walmart, they just, I thought Joann's was going out of business. They just were not restocking. And I'm like, oh my God, this is going to shut down. You know, all these businesses going under and selling only online. And, but now they're fully stocked up, and, you know, Joann's is like crazy stocked up. So thank God. I gotta have my craft stuff. And anyway, I went through. Oh, at first I found like these capri pants. Kind of like anyone that's in my age group, Laura Petrie kind of pants that she wore on her show. They had them in black. They had them in leopard. So that's where this whole thing started and blew up. And those were like $15, $14.96 I think. And then I found some dresses for like under $20. And these were knits, and usually I don't like polyester. But I mean, they're wrinkle free. So they had some cute ideas, or things that look cute, styles that I knew I could put tights with, my Doc Marten combat boots, or my pink Doc Martens, or ballet flats, all kinds of things. Plus I could take them back, right? So pick them up, try them on, take them back. Well, when you know they all fit. And so I went online, and I thought some of these things were like $9. So to build up the capsule wardrobe, I found a lot of good deals on Walmart.com, and to my surprise. And I kind of knew how the clothes fit because, you know, I had some at my house to try on. So anyway, needless to say, the capsule wardrobe is on its way, and I just got to get a method to my madness. And clearly, I think I mentioned at my apartment, I am a collector of all things. When I have a craft that I love, or an art, I want all the watercolor tins, I want all the quilt stuff, and you know, it just adds up. Sewing machines, you know, I have an addiction to antique sewing machine, but I need to divest myself of some of these luxuries and treasures, and it's an ongoing process, and it's overwhelming at times, but I just need to focus on micro steps. And so, like I said, I'm a work in progress, and you would think by 62 you would have it figured out, but no. I guess that's why I'm still here. I haven't learned my earthly lessons yet to go to heaven. Since I did my last video, the anniversary of my mom's passing came, and you know, that's always just makes me very sad. So I won't go into that because I'll just start crying. Totally jumping subjects here. Talking to my sister, I had called her about some questions, and she wasn't responding. She didn't pick up the phone. And you know, she's got a really busy life, and she visits her grandchildren a lot, and I didn't think anything of it, and knew she'd contact me when she could, and it certainly wasn't any dire emergency. And so I got a call, and it was actually my brother-in-law, and he said, just wanted to let you know we're not avoiding you, but Tracy's not been feeling well. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And he described what had happened, and I thought, oh my God, this happened to me. And I had to think back. It's probably been back when I was like 45-ish, maybe. I'm not, no, not, I was older than that. I was probably in my 50s. I'll describe what happened to me, and the thing is, it happened to her, and even though I'm not a doctor, I can tell you this is what happened. It's, there was a period of time back in around 2006 where I had a lot of medical mysteries going on, and sorry, people are sending me messages. Hopefully this is still taping. What was I saying? Anyway, I got up out of bed. It was, you know, I was a lot more energetic back then, and I had plans, and I got up out of bed and just whipped my head just really quickly to the side, and oh my God, it was like I couldn't even walk. I had to crawl. The whole, this was, have you ever been overindulged in alcoholic beverages and had the bed spinning? Well, I've done that in my past quite a bit. When I used to go out dancing and such. Not that I'd do that kind of thing now. Anyway, beyond that, this is like crazy world whirling, your head's whirling. I could barely, I was crawling. And no, I had not had a stroke or anything. And nauseous, and I had to call a friend from the stables, and they had to come pick me up. And this is probably more info than you wanted to know, but I had to take a trash can because I was vomiting. What it was is my inner ear, and who knew you had crystals in your inner ear? And it gets dislodged, and there are actual ways, if you go to like a specialist or a ears, nose and throat specialist, there's these different maneuvers you can do to keep on looking to see if Robin's here, to reposition it back in place. So when Jay was going through all what they had experienced, I'm like, oh my God, I know exactly what that is. And I had that. And I looked up all these, after we hung up, I looked up all these, how to self-fix this. She did have a medical, like, web call with somebody, and of course, you know, when you get our age, they think you've had a stroke, or you've, you know, whatever, and it, clearly she had not had a stroke. Clearly I had not had a stroke. And I said, Tracy, you could go in for all kinds of tests, but I can tell you what it is. And I had to get like IVs of fluid and medicine to quit, you know, stop the nauseous throwing up, and I got to the ear, nose, and throat, and, you know, I got back in place. But she went for dental surgery, and she called me like days later and said it had been horrifying. It was like knocking her head around, and it was traumatic. It gave her like PTSD, and she was swollen, and I mean, it's like a nightmare dental experience. And she was saying just how jarring it was. And she's, lo and behold, the beginning of this dislodging of your crystals starts with sometimes like some kind of injury, like a blow to the head. And she's like, it had to be that dental surgery. And anyway, so if something like that happens to you, this is just a public announcement, public service announcement for those out there. It can happen. In fact, I'm probably going to tell Robin about it. just because, you know, Tracy and I have both had it, and I know my dad had vertigo. So anyway, just so they know it if some weird thing happens to them. But it clearly, it makes you change the way you get out of bed or make quick movements. And that's why I won't do any of the collegiate dance that I like to do. It's a Persian Gulf folk dance, and it's women with long hair, so I would definitely had to wear wigs, and it's where they like throw their head back and forth to it's a lot of head throwing, and the women used to do the dance at all female parties, and they'd wear their finery, their taupes that were all embroidered, and all the pearls, because they were by the sea, they had pearls, and showing all that they had to offer, because they're looking for either husbands for their children, their daughters, or mothers of boys were looking for, you know, future mates for their sons. So they were trying to show off, you know, how well off they were. Anyway, I couldn't do that whipping around to the head, belly dancing or anything. It's just because I know what was going to happen. Anyway, when I get out of bed, I have to like sit straight up and then turn at the torso just so I don't whip my head around. Anyway, any younger folks, as I continue to lose subscribers every time I do a video, it really has made me consider stopping making these, because it really is discouraging, and that's just human nature. But it's rejections, guys. It's like, oh my God, I'm not interesting whatsoever, which Lord knows I haven't been going out because of COVID. Still waiting. From what I've read, I'm like 80% immune. I think someone said after 2 weeks with Moderna. This Wednesday will hit the 28-day mark, and I keep looking for the notification for my second shot, and I haven't gotten it. And due to the J&J going on pause, that may be impacting my ability to get it timely. So I'm hoping not. But I can tell you, when I went to the pharmacy at Walmart one of the last times, it was so busy, and she's like, we're just crazy busy. I was actually trying to get an antibiotic for my tooth, and she's like, we're crazy busy because we're doing vaccinations. And it was like crazy packed, and it had to be the J&J, because when I went there this past Wednesday, that was all shut down. So pray for me, guys, that I get my second vaccine shot, and that I can at least go out safely with a mask, and maybe go have lunch or dinner with some friends, or go with some of the meetup groups to go hiking. It would be nice to have some human companionship. The other thing that's happened over the past 3.5 weeks since I did my haircut diary is Lucy's been sick. She may have been sick when I did the last time. It didn't clear up. I had to go back, and I do have to find a new vet. I've come to the conclusion, you know, vets are expensive. I know that. It just seems like this is crazy expensive for the procedures or what they're doing. But the vet, she had upper respiratory, and the second time the doctor said that he believes it's bronchitis, pneumonia. And I said, you know, they gave her a steroid shot, and I could tell the night they gave it to her, because she was feeling spunkier. But you know, trying to get medicine, and I had to do like 10 mils dosage every 12 hours. And when your pug does not want you to do that, they are very stubborn and or strong-willed. I'll say strong-willed, because us Tauruses are known to be stubborn, but we're just misunderstood. What can I say? Anyway, it's raspberry flavored, so I'm like, at least it's got to taste better than that horrible penicillin stuff that I can remember from a childhood, and it was horrible. And after I give her medicine, I give her peanut butter so she can get that taste out of her mouth. And come to find out, she actually likes the taste of this stuff. So now I'm just putting it in the cap of the bottle, and she licks it out of it like it's a dessert. And I've been giving her a dose during the night, and or when we go to bed, and she'll go get up in bed and then like, where's my dessert? She's like, you know, like, and hitting me with her hand, her paw, saying, give it up, give me the sweet stuff. And I'm like, what am I gonna do when this is all over? Oh, the crazy thing about it, okay, after second visit, got a new two containers of this med, which thank God it didn't have to be refrigerated. But it said these 2 doses a day, 10 millimeters, 20 millimeters in a full day. And I know last time I ran out of meds for Lucy, I had to go back and beg for more, because, you know, she would turn her head, stuff would fall on the floor, not get in, or, you know, dribble down, she wouldn't spit it up. So I was like crazy watching that I did everything just right, measured it right, and I could tell that this was not going to last to get me to the 10-day mark. So my eyesight is so bad. God help me that I'm not going blind, but got out my magnifying glass, and I'm looking at the fine print on this bottle, and it's like, okay, I'm no mental giant or anything, but when it said that this bottle, when it's reconstituted, because it comes dry powder in there, and you have to add, kind of like Kool-Aid packets, you have to add water, it only equaled 60 millimeters. Well, me being not even a mental giant, that's 3 days. So 2 packets is only going to get me 6 days in. I'm like freaking out. So I had to go back, and this stuff is not cheap, guys. 2 more bottles, and frankly, I would buy 2 more right now just in case, make sure we knock this baby out. So everyone that happens to maybe watch this, please pray that this clears it up and I don't have to beg on my knees. Sorry, no, I don't have a disorder to keep looking to my right, but I keep thinking Robin's here. Anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else that is of note that there's a, let me think about what I'm watching online. Netflix, anyone that's dance related or likes ballet, if subtitles do not bother me, I think y'all know that I am crazy. I can't think of the word. Crazy about, I'll just leave it at that, Korean shows. They are suspenseful. They're sometimes they involve, you know, drama, happiness, suspense. You see some of the same actors and actresses that you really like, and one came up, and it's called Navarilla. N-A-V, I think I-E RRL, something like that. It's like ballerina, but with a NAV. Anyway, it's about this man that is having a birthday party, and he's turning 70, retiring. I think he lives, I guess, obviously in Korea. And, you know, he had to support his family. They had a big family. They're, you know, yay, Dad, you get to retire. You know, go home and read a book or something. And he's always had the passion to learn how to do ballet. And he goes to watch some major show by himself. His wife didn't go with him. And he just is like, my life is going by. You know, I'm 70. It's almost over here. And, you know, I've not done what I wanted to do. So he walks by this dance studio by happenstance, and there's a young male dancer in there just flying through the air, and he is just enthralled. And so finally the guy comes out and confronts him and is like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I want to learn how to do that. And they're looking like, you know, you want to learn ballet? And I won't give you the whole plot, but the owner of the studio and the person that is trying to prepare this young potential to be his very best and motivate him, and he's had a hard life, so he struggles and having to work and work out all the time, you know, not only have a job but work out in the studio. And anyway, he begins lessons, and then you can only imagine what his family thinks about all this. So highly recommend it, guys. Try subtitles. Now you do have to sit down and, you know, fully be engaged and watch it, because you're having to figure out what they're saying. But they do have English subtitles. And I'm trying to think of what else. I think there was also a dance one called In the Beat that I just watched. It was a movie. There's one I'm watching called The Good Detective, also The Fierce Wife, and these are all Netflix. What else? There's one about this Korean that ends up in Italy, and he works for a mafioso, and he's like his fix-it guy, and he goes home and they've buried some gold there, and he's trying to get back to get the gold. And this whole little unique, quirky environment of people that live or have shops and where under this is the gold's hidden, there's some big corporation trying to really screw them out of where they're living or their livelihoods, and so he gets involved. Anyway, I can't think of what it's. I'll have to look up the name of it. And then there's another one that's kind of sci-fi, which I liked it, because it does have this actor from the show that got me hooked on Korean drama, called Stranger. And there's 2 seasons. First season's way better, but I love the 2 leads in that one. Anyway, I probably watch anything he was in. He's just one of my faves. And because I guess there's such a limited pool of actresses and actors, you see some of the same people you've seen in other drama series or movies, and which is kind of fun. Have them take on totally different personas. Anyway, I think I need to drink a Diet Coke, and I'm running out of things to tell you. Anyway, if you could pray for Lucy, and I was really hoping to get the second shot Moderna before my birthday, or too much, you know, close to around that, so I'd be able to maybe celebrate. But I am getting together with my daughters, and I will go to Nothing But Bundt Cake and buy me a little buntlet. Yes, I will. Kind of liking the confetti buntlet. And I was thinking about it. I do think Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker, maybe both, have confetti cake mixes. So I may give that a try. It sure would be cheaper. Anyway, how are y'all doing? Leave me comments. I would love to hear. Oh, I did get kind of interested in Joanne actually has a stitch along, and they have little tutorials to go along with it, and it's crochet. And once you get down what you're doing with crochet, I'm not a master crocheter by any means, and I think where I first got exposed to it was my grandmother Dag, Gladys, and you could do it. One requires all this different variety of colors, and yeah, it's very festive, kind of boho looking. Or they had a two-color scheme, which is much more cost-effective because you're not having to buy all these 8 different yarns. Even this is not expensive yarn. This is nylon, polyester, or whatever it is, and which I really don't prefer, but it is lighter than wool. But I went in and thought I would try, you know, buy a couple of things of yarn and just see if I like doing it. Or, you know, I've got arthritis problems, if I could physically do it. And I bought this jumbo value pack from Red Heart, and it was just basic white, and it was crummy. I could say something stronger, but I won't. It's like I can't work on this. It's either gonna be I'm gonna have to get some wool or try a different brand, and because it just looked cheap, it just was for, you know, splitting up the plies, it just was not good quality. So I did go back and buy a different brand, and I'm trying to think of which brand it is. Oh, it was some off brand. It's called Twist. That's what it's called, and it was the cheapest yarn there, and they had some great colors. So anyway, stitch along, go to Joann's. They have a Facebook group. They do entailed instructions, so if you want to learn a new skill, since we all have more free time. Sorry, I keep thinking they're here. But I think it's called the Puffy Daisy pattern. Stitch along, Sal, S-A-L. They also have good instructions you can print out, so let me know if you want to join me in that. Cricket, what about you? I know you knit. Do you crochet? Or Debbie up in Oklahoma, how about you? You're crafty. I think you could do it. Anyway, I did have a cute posting on that I stole from another group, and it had a picture of Downton Abbey, 2 of the main characters, and it was like, what is your lord or lady name? And the premise was you put lady, and then you put the name of your pet, and then the name of the last thing you ate, and then the final thing was the last place that you shopped. So I think mine was Lady Lucy, Peppermint, Tranquility du Jour, Kimberly Wilson's website. Anyway, I ended up posting it, and several of my Tutu sisters from the Tutu Sisterhood ended up doing it. And I'm proposing to the group that these become our Tutu Sisterhood names, kind of like the Yaya Sisterhood have quirky names. But I think we could have a little latitude and be able to adjust the name of what we ate or where we shopped to have it clearly define who we are. But some of them are really, really funny. So if you haven't done it, go to my Facebook page, find it. It was spent in the last week, and join the fun. It's some of them just come out really funny anyway, and we all need a little levity, a little fun. So hope y'all are doing well. It's a nice, beautiful, sunny day here in Texas. I'm in the shade. It's 70. My car says it's 71. So hopefully it's nice weather where you are. And thank you for watching. And if you're still with me, I don't know if I said Elvis was in the building at the start of this, so shame on me. But to end it, like I always do, be kind when you can. It's really the wrong answer. And we all need a little kindness. And the other thing is peace out. Bye, guys.